People will remember her, among many things, but for her beautiful smile, her optimism, her humanitarianism. She was an extremely, extremely nonviolent person.
The Jewish community is mourning the loss of Winnipeg-born peace activist Vivian Silver, who was killed in Hamas's initial attacks on Israel in October.
Vivian was a product of Winnipeg.
Lynn Mitchell, a lifelong close friend of Vivian Silver, says it's been a roller coaster of emotions for the peace advocates' loved ones since Hamas's attack on Israel on October 7th. First fearing the worst after the initial attacks, but then having a bit of hope, with Silver's body not immediately found. It was first believed Silver was kidnapped by Hamas, but Israel's Consular General in Toronto confirming the worst on Monday, that Silver was killed.
Now we're out of the vortex of hope, and we're dealing with the reality of her loss.
Mitchell met Silver when she was 15 at a youth group, with both of them living in Winnipeg's North End.
Back in the 60s, there wasn't a lot to do when you were a teenager. There weren't malls. It was cold. We were constantly looking for things to do. So, you either look for good things to do or bad things to do. So we looked for good things to do.
While Silver eventually made the move to Israel, the two stayed in touch, keeping strong their 60-year friendship, with Mitchell even visiting Silver in Israel back in May of this year.
We have memories of the kibbutz and of her home just from May, which is such a surreal juxtaposition of where we stand or sit right now with the realities of how the world has changed.
Jeff Lieberman is the CEO of the Jewish Federation of Winnipeg. He says while the Jewish community in Winnipeg is mourning the loss of Silver, they're also coming together to share stories about how the advocate has touched them.
She would help Palestinian families take their children to either doctor's appointments or to the hospitals.
Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew also sharing his condolences for the death of Silver on the social media platform X, writing that, quote, "Her memory and her pursuit of peace is a bright light we will carry in our hearts during these dark times."
She has sown the seeds for nonviolence.
In Winnipeg, Edward Djan, City News.